Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to a brand new video here today and some more F1 2020 My Team Career Mode content. Today we are here for the Bahrain Grand Prix, round 2 of season 2, and if you guys missed round 1 in Australia, check it out guys up in the top right hand corner of your screen. I want to say real quick a massive thank you guys for all the support on the episode. You guys smashed it and season 2 is off to a great start. I'm not going to spoil anything at all in the first minute or so of the video, but guys, if you haven't seen the episode, go check it out before we jump into some spoilers that will be coming now. So yeah, you've been given your fair warning, but let's jump into today's video. So we're here at Bahrain this weekend guys. There's a track that I really like on 110 AI. They're not as difficult this year to beat in terms of last year, so I'm fancying my chances a bit more this weekend because we had a really good weekend in Australia, scoring points with both cars in that race, which was absolutely insane. First time ever in this series so far. But guys, if you're going to enjoy the video, drop me a like and let's get this episode underway. So first and foremost this weekend guys, we do have some updates, and not in terms of car performance. First of all though, let's look at the weather forecast. You can see it's looking dry, which is good. We don't have any upgrades in terms of performance on the car, but neither do many teams around us. Only Williams and Ferrari bringing updates this weekend, but we do have things in the pipeline. So we've got 2 minor upgrades, one for the chassis and one for the fuel. The chassis one should arrive straight after the race, and also we put on 2 upgrades to the facilities for the engine in the last episode. One for quality control, one for build time, so that the upgrades get here quicker and there's less chance of failures, because we're going to be investing really heavily in the engine department guys moving forward. So I did those upgrades ahead of time to prepare ourselves for the new kind of chapter, if you will, in this career mode. Also worth noting, our new rival Lando Norris, of course, is going to be the man we have to look out for now in terms of the rivalry. But with that said, we now move into practice 1 here at Bahrain, and this one of course in the daytime. And I went out, did a few of my programs, track acclimatization, race strategy, and also of course as always the qualifying performance test, because of course if we finish top in the session, it does mean we do score a bonus, and that's exactly what we did. We actually finished P1 in FP1, so we are going to get once again that cash bonus. And in terms of the overall review of the session, we actually had a very good one, to be fair, getting a lot of acclaim, which is really positive for us, and things are looking great heading into qualifying. So really happy with it, and no complaints on my end, and we've already hit one of our targets, which is awesome. So here we are then in qualifying for Bahrain, qualifying 1 more specifically, and looking at practice pace. Obviously, it's going to be tricky to get out of Q1. I've got to be realistic. We are 3rd from bottom, so technically we should be getting knocked out in this session. But there was some pace in the car, especially Mick. He looks really quick this weekend. He's carrying on his momentum from Australia, and I think it's going to be really hard to beat our teammate. But here we go in our first time lap of Q1. I've got to say this was a really good banker lap, really strong lap. We at qualifier, I'll go ahead of both the Haas cars and the Williams cars to start off with. Eventually Schumacher got ahead of us, and on my second run I made a mistake. I was actually improving by a 10th, and then I ran it in a bit too hot on the brakes into turn 4, and that ultimately cost me some time. So unfortunately that lap pretty much went down the drain. I kept on pushing, but I wasn't able to find any time over the rest of the lap, and eventually by the end of the final corner I was like, you know what, we're not going to improve, may as well just go into the pit lane and save a lap on the engine wear and tyre wear. But we now move on to my final lap, and this was my best lap of the session. Will it be enough to get into Q2? Let's find out. Currently Schumacher's ahead of us, so let's go for a full lap of the Bahrain circuit. There we go, exiting the final corner now, trying to get the power down, opening up the DRS as we run up to the line. We are going to improve by about 3.5 tenths of a second, which is pretty damn crazy. Is it enough? No, not quite. Only 18th place, so we are out in Q1, but that wasn't the big surprise. The big surprise was MICK SCHUMACHER got into Q2. He wasn't even out qualifying us. He comfortably beat us, and he is in 13th place and into Q2. So he's already delivered. You know, like MICK SCHUMACHER, guys. He's arrived this season. He means business. You know, P6 in the first race in Australia, and Q2 today. MICK has arrived, guys, and this is great for us as a team. You know, that I've got a teammate who can compete. Really, really good stuff. But in terms of the rivalry, we get off to a bad start, of course. Norris out qualifying us, so we are losing 2-1, and we do get a small boost on the acclaim. Not us personally, I don't think, but MICK, and also as a team, we do gain a little bit. But guys, that's it for qualifying, and overall a great session. You know, we got knocked out, but it's good to see MICK improving. But we're now going to move into the race for round 2 of the season for the Bahrain Grand Prix.
The stage is set for another enthralling race here in the Kingdom of Bahrain. A Ferrari stronghold in years gone by, but will they be able to add to their record today? We'll be racing around 3.36 miles of the magnificent Bahrain International Circuit today. Keep an eye out for drivers locking the front left down into the tricky braking zone of turn 10. Now, Anthony Davidson, I wonder, might we be in for some early pit stops today from the midfield teams, all trying to put some pressure on or disrupting things for the leaders up front?
If you're in the middle of the pack, you know, you got your own race to run. I don't think they're going to be thinking about causing trouble up front. However, closer to the head of the pack, don't be surprised to see some split strategies. If you're running second and third, for example, bringing one car in for an undercut while leaving the other one out there longer can put a lot of pressure on the leader and maybe force them into an error.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Vettel, Max Verstappen and Stroll, Albon, Perez, Ricciardo and Esteban Ocon, Sainz, Kvyat, Lando Norris and Gasly, Schumacher, Raikkonen, Antonio Giovinazzi and Martinez, Magnussen, Grosjean, Russell and Nicholas Latifi. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out. Then let's see who can prevail today.
It's time for the Bahrain Grand Prix, guys. Starting from P18 on the grid, MICK SCHUMACHER getting a brilliant qualifying and, you know, getting into Q2. Really good performance from him. And then again, you know, showing the improvement of the car, which has been really, really noticeable this season. Even though we are still in the exact same place where we were in Abu Dhabi in terms of position on the R&D chart, the car just feels faster this year. And also, if you combine that with MICK's improved rating of 75, he's much more of a threat now. So it's really, really worked out well for us. And so far, you know, he outraced me in Australia and he's out-qualified me in Bahrain. So fair play to him. But in terms of our race strategy here today, we're going to be starting on the medium compound tyres and then going on to the hards. A one-stop strategy, quite effective, and it's definitely the faster strategy around here. The question is if we can hold a decent pace on those hard tyres at the end and also on the mediums right now at the beginning. Fuel-wise, we're going to go 1.2 laps extra. Bahrain is a little bit fuel hungry around here, so we're going to try and hopefully you know, cover ourselves with a bit more fuel in the tank, but hopefully we've got some good pace. I'm not sure what strategies people are going to go on, but whatever happens, we need to try and be aggressive at the start, use the medium tyres, gain a handful of places and then take it from there. But without further ado, guys, let's get racing here for round 2 of season 2 for the Bahrain Grand Prix. Here we go, the lights are coming on here in the desert as we build up the revs to the sweet spot. Lights out and away we go. That was not a good start. We got off to a pretty poor one. Luckily for us though, no one's really challenging. We're going to try and luck around the outside here. Can we make that work? We're going to follow our teammate basically. Oh, I'm getting shoved off here. Not much room on the outside. Being very cautious. But we do gain a lot actually. We're up to P14. Oh my goodness me. And Schumacher's even further ahead. Wow, what a start from us. That is insane. We're going to slot in here behind Ocon, but Schumacher, I believe, is P10. Yes, he is. Schumacher up into 10th place. So from P15 to P10, and I go from P18, I believe, to P14. What a start from both of us here, using the outside line at Bahrain, and it really worked there. So we've had a brilliant start, got ourselves right into this race, which is insane. We've got Kvyat behind. He's on the soft tyres. But MICK is definitely the lead medium tyre runner on this grid, which is really, really good. So he's going to have first choice in terms of strategy in this race. But that is incredible. What a start from us. I wonder if we have the race pace. We've got Kvyat and Gasly behind. Kvyat on soft tyres, Gasly on mediums. So we'll have to keep an eye on the Russian. But for now, it's looking good. We had okay race pace last year, so kind of hoping that we've got race pace this year with the improved car, of course. But I can't believe it. Mick Schumacher this season, he is not messing around. He is playing no games. He came to, to be serious this year and really perform, which is what you love to see. Of that McLaren in front, getting a bit loose there. Perez all over the back of him here. There could be a bit of a scrap going on into turn one. Meanwhile, I'm using overtake. I've got the run on Ocon. Can we get the Renault here into the first corner? Yellow flag. That's going to stop me from making a move, unfortunately.
Okay, clear.
Oh, we're going to green. There we go. Good timing. Down the inside of Ocon into turn one. And we make it stick. The timing on that was impeccable. Really good overtake. Raikkonen out of the race in the Alfa Romeo. So we're down a car already here. But what a good overtake on Ocon that was. Up to P13 on medium tyres. This is looking good, boys. Really, really good so far already. End of lap 3. Pace is good. Mick holding up, of course, the 2 cars in front, which are Sainz and Perez. It could be about to kick off here. 3 wide down towards turn 1. Reset personal best. Schumacher gets overtaken by both. Showcasing the lack of straight line speed in that car at the minute. Although, to be fair, I've been quickest in the speed traps, but that just might be my setup. I'm running very low wings around here to stay competitive on the straights, really. But listen, we're doing well here. P12 and P13 on the mediums. I'm confident Schumacher can hold on and actually sit behind both of these guys, and he's not going to drop off. So, as a team, we're looking good. We've got Sainz and Stroll, I believe, a little bit further up the road as well. So, they're battling away. So, at the minute, we're looking good, especially with our strategy on the medium tyres. With the one stop, we could really make a challenge for points here today, this afternoon. I really think we can. Perez has now passed Carlos Sainz up ahead, and he's starting to pull away. He's dragging Sainz with him a little bit, but Schumacher's still hanging in there with the DRS range, which is good for us, of course, as a team. Once Perez pulls out of that 1 second window and Sainz doesn't have DRS anymore, it'll make it a lot easier for Schumacher, I think, to catch back up to the McLaren. But at the minute, we do have some pace. I think I've got a better pace than my teammate, though. I will admit, I think I've got a bit more to give, but it's hard to get really close on the straight at the minute because of the difference in, the straight line speed is pretty similar because, of course, even though we're pretty good, there's a massive DRS train, so it nerfs the effect of DRS and ERS. Okay, Schumacher doesn't have DRS. Meanwhile, Stroll pits. He's the first car to do so. So he's definitely 2-stopping as we set a personal best on that lap. But key information there as Schumacher now drops out of DRS range of Carlos Sainz. We're going to start putting the pressure on, I think, and looking for a move on our teammate. I think once Kvyat behind me and Ocon pit, and the coast is clear, and there's no consequences of me overtaking our teammate, then we'll pass him so that he doesn't lose time and fall back behind multiple cars and lose time battling. We've got to think of this as a team here. Got to play this right. Right, it'd be a good time to overtake my teammate right now, especially if Kvyat and Ocon pit this lap, which I'm expecting them to, and they do indeed. Right, this is our chance now. We'll pass Schumacher here. Loads of cars in the pit lane. We've got good straight line speed, so we'll breeze past our teammate, and that will cost him no time at all. Run that in a bit hard on the brakes there, but that's okay. Right, let's try and close up to Sainz. Let's try and drag our teammate with us if possible. Let's see if we can keep up with me. Right, a couple more cars in the pit lane as we set a new personal best. We move up to P3 in this race now. Both McLarens ahead of us. They're both on the medium tyre, so we are racing the McLarens here today. Norris, of course, is my rival, so I think we can mix it up with the McLarens today. I think we've got the pace for it. Let's see if that's true or not. Got to say, this is working out beautifully. Mick is keeping up. He's staying within the DRS range, and at the same time, I'm closing in on Carlos Sainz. I should have DRS on him now on the next lap, hopefully. So it's going according to plan beautifully so far this race. At the minute, the leaders are having a tough time trying to get through the field because Schumacher, Gasly, and I think it's Giovinazzi are behind me. And Giovinazzi, of course, with that Ferrari engine is giving the leaders a bit of an issue because Gio's got DRS on Gasly, and with that Ferrari engine, it means the leaders can't make a move on the straight, so they're not really making any progress, so it's not affecting our rhythm here. We're now pretty much within range and striking distance of Carlos Sainz, so we're going to try and look for a move now before the pit stop phase so we can try and jump one of the McLarens here. Okay, I'm closing into Carlos here. I'm trying to get the gap down so that when we come out the final corner, I can try my luck on the pit straight. Here we go then, let's see. I don't really have that much ERS to use. The ERS is pretty high in terms... Yeah, it's pretty high in terms of consumption, but here we go. We're going to make a nice, easy move on Sainz and even take the racing line before the first corner. So we are through, job done, and that's gonna back him into Schumacher as well for good measure, which is perfect. Just got to stay ahead of Sainz here up into turn 4, which we do. And now we're going to box this lap for the hard tyres and hopefully stay with Lando now and try and gradually edge towards him. Right, we're going to pit this lap then. Let's see if Lando pits. Hopefully we can rejoin in some clean air and really use the hard tyres. Lando stays out, so that means Sainz will pit. Get it also down, and there we go. Right then, job done. Really good first stint. Both myself and Mick Schumacher are in the race, which is brilliant. Sainz and Gasly in behind us, so a good job again of staying ahead of those guys. Let's see if we can try and undercut Lando now. That's going to be the key factor here. Exit now. 1.8. Brilliant. We've even pulled away from Sainz and Gasly even more. Hopefully Schumacher has the exact same stop. Here we go then.
Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound.
Oh no, that's going to be so crucial. These two are battling. We're going to rejoin just behind them. Both of them on medium tyres. Oh, we just got cut off there. I lost all momentum, but we are going to still make a move on Ocon here up towards turn 4. Down the inside on hard tyres, but we'll squeeze him off and get the move done. That's going to cost us time though. Not ideal by any means. These two guys obviously two-stopping in this race. I was hoping to have rejoined just ahead of them, but that wasn't the case. Okay, Schumacher in the pit lane. Let's see how things kind of shake out. It could be key that we have DRS on Kvyat here to give us a bit of a slingshot on the straight. Obviously, we're not going to undercut Lando, unfortunately, due to the battling this lap, but still, let's see.
We're not going to be able to run in this engine mode much longer. We're about a lap over target. Drop down to Mick's too soon.
There is Mick. He's actually quite a way behind us, but crucially, I think he's still behind us in terms of net position. No, he's not. Sainz is still there, unfortunately, but look at Lando. He's just in front of Kvyat here. So we're a lot closer to Lando Norris than we were before. So the undercut has still worked. To be fair, I can feel the grip on these. It's a lot better than the medium. So the undercut has worked out beautifully for us. Let's see if we can try and stick with Kvyat here and use him to get past Lando and overtake him on track for position. That would be for P11, assuming Kvyat, of course, pushes forward. Right, personal best on that lap. Pretty good pace. We've got Albon there leaving the pit exit on medium tyres. So it looks like the leading two stoppers could be affected here as Kvyat puts a move on Lando Norris for position. This is good news for us. That can put us on the back of Lando here. Can we get him into turn 4? I'm gaining on him actually. Down the inside we go. I'm committing. Lando left the door wide open. He didn't turn his engine up, so we slipped straight through. And I'm saying thank you very much, Kvyat, and I'll take that. Job done. Up to P10 we go. Oh, there we go. Lance Stroll pits. Of course, he pit very early on lap 7, so he's had a pretty long stint. Any more cars in the pit lane? Let's find out. Looks like there isn't, so P9 for now, but we know Kvyat has to pit again, of course. As does Perez as well, I believe, in the other racing point. So we're looking good for a top 10 finish here at the moment, as things stand. Mick's a little bit further behind. He's behind Albon, I believe, in P13. So Mick's still in the mix. He'll definitely be in the points once all the pit stops are all said and done. So it's looking good for both of us here in a minute. And there we go, Kvyat pits. Perez as well. All the remaining two stoppers, I believe, are in the pit lane. Ricciardo as well. So we're going to move up to P6. Oh my god, there's more. Hang on, we've got the leaders here. Wow. Around the outside of Lewis here into turn number 1. We're going to have to use that line with the fresh tyres. We're up to P3 in this race. And make no mistake, this is a net P3 in Bahrain. But here comes Lewis straight away. Is he going to go for it? No, he doesn't actually. He hangs back for now. So we are briefly on the podium positions in Bahrain. Ever so briefly. Here comes Lewis. He's going down the inside. I gave him a squeeze, but he's having none of it. We're going to keep fighting though. This is fun. Here we go. We're going to hang on into the hairpin. This is going to last. I'm going to make it last a little bit. Ricciardo doing really well actually. He's right in the mix with the Renault. He's right behind these guys. So that Renault going really well in the hands of Rick Bobby. And this is also good because it's bringing Schumacher back into play because I'm backing everyone into him a little bit. So hopefully that will help Mick out a little bit. Don't want to use all my ERS and fuel if possible. But I'm expecting Lewis to pass on the pit straight. Right, here we go then. I'm not going to fight Lewis or Vettel. These guys are quicker. We'll just keep the engine in standard engine mode. Maybe a little bit of rich mix, but I'm happy to just do my own thing. We've got Leclerc and Bottas in the pit lane as well. Going to get a bit of a tow off of Lewis. There is Bottas leaving the pit exit. Here comes Sebastian Vettel. Is he going to convert that into an offensive move? Oh, he does. There's a bit of contact. Sebastian locks up into the first corner. These two duking it out. We've got Verstappen behind us in the Red Bull. Let's just try and do our own race here and not focus on this too much. Oh, Verstappen down the inside with a big dive there. I get pushed off the track. Verstappen doesn't even make it stick. That was not a good move from Max there. That was not ideal one bit. Here comes Sainz. I'm going to box him in so that you can't make a move. Verstappen down the inside again, trying to make a move there, but that was a rude overtake from Max. I don't know what he was trying to do, but luckily we keep him behind. Now we've got Sainz for company. Of course, this is for position. It is 97 Racing versus McLaren here today. Right, here comes Max. Will he go for the move? That's the question. It's 3-1 up ahead. Bottas, Hamilton, and Sebastian Vettel. We're going to give Max a bit of a squeeze here. We're not going to make it too easy for him. We're on the outside line through the first corner. Max on the inside, but we get the drive and the momentum around the outside. I'm going to give him a squeeze for what he's done to me before, and we get the DRS as well, so there we go. I'll tell you what, I think we've got a chance to stay ahead of the Red Bull here. I think we can do that. I really think so. Albon's in there as well, so at the minute, we're looking good, and I think Mick is in P10 as well, so we're both in the points. This is going beautifully so far. At the minute, it's definitely Red Bull versus McLaren.
Moving to mix 2, fuel to mix 2.
Sainz making a move on Verstappen. Meanwhile, Albon making a move on Norris a little bit further back. It's literally Red Bull versus McLaren currently, and Mick's just sat behind. We're literally bookending this battle, and we're watching it from different perspectives. But this is looking good for us at the minute. It's really helping us out. I think I can hold on to this. I'm quite comfortable, actually. The Red Bull doesn't have a straight line speed. I've got very good top end speed around here with my setup, so I like this. We're looking good. The pace is legit. I can't lie. I'm really doing well at the minute. The car feels fine. I'm not really under any pressure. Sainz can't get close to me. I'm just managing it beautifully. So I'm using my ERS when I have to. Little mistake there, to be fair. But again, I'll get a decent enough exit that I can stay ahead of the McLaren. You'll see here, Sainz is pretty close, but with the ERS and my straight line speed, I can stay ahead. Imagine if I had a really good power unit. It'd be insane. But we're more than okay here. I have picked up my pace a little bit because obviously now that Verstappen isn't behind me, I want to try and stretch the pack a little bit. We've got Sainz as the next car behind.
Need to worry about tyre condition for now. Everything's looking good.
Yeah, tyres do look absolutely fine. But yeah, I'm trying to push on because we've got Sainz behind, which is better for me because it gives me more protection rather than Verstappen. Verstappen's much more aggressive, of course, on those medium tyres. So Sainz being on the hards gives me a lot of protection, which is what I want. So yeah, we're looking good so far. 4 more laps to go. Oh, contact. What? Sainz, I think that was. Not sure what happened there. Got to catch a replay of that one, but I just took my turn 1 line literally normally, and I just felt something in my side pod. I have to watch that one back. Right then, Max is going to get a chance here. I've used quite a bit of ERS, to be fair. I think I've got enough on the straight to really stay in front here. 2 laps to go. Max is nowhere near close enough into the first corner. Perfect case scenario. Right, then all we've got to do now is defend, and look at that. Verstappen's not even close enough to me. I think he may have damage because he's really, really slow. He's not that quick, Verstappen, compared to what he should be doing. So maybe he got damage battling with Sainz. Last lap, though, we're looking really, really good here. All the battle's going to happen behind. I just really hope Schumacher can hang on for that final point. That's all I want in my life. Schumacher to score a point and then for us to get double points for the first time. Well, for the second time, actually. We got that in Australia, didn't we? So hopefully for the second time we get double points. Here we go, then the final works go off for Mr. Charles Leclerc. Verstappen's trying to make a late push, but I've got enough fuel and ERS to keep him at bay. Final corner, we're on for a personal best as well, nearly half a second up, so it's been a very strong final lap from us. But here we go, at the final corner, and it's going to be double points for us as a team once again. Yes!
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
A fantastic team effort then to secure victory here in the desert. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
Well, this was a real team victory. They put together a solid strategy today that appeared well suited to the conditions out on track. The driver did everything that was expected of them in the moment to really execute the team's plan to perfection. A shining example of how F1 really is a team sport.
Looking at the podium, you can see that red suit familiar to fans across the globe. A world-class win for a world-class team. Ferrari do it again.
Oh, guys, what a result. Absolutely insane. Leclerc wins ahead of Vettel, making it a 1-2 for Ferrari, and after a double DNF in the last race, that is a massive result for the Maranello team. Lewis Hamilton in third, and Bottas, who of course was leading the championship after the first race, finishes P4 with the fastest lap. We finish in a phenomenal P5 on the one-stop strategy, and outlasting Verstappen, Sainz, Albon, Norris, and Schumacher picks up the final point. So double points for us as a team today, and the strategy was perfect. You know, we was towing Mick Schumacher along at the end of that first stint and also at the start of the second, and it worked out beautifully for us. Mick manages to fend off Giovinazzi, Ricciardo, Perez, Gasly, Stroll, Kvyat, Ocon, Grosjean, Russell, Magnussen, Latifi, with Kimi Raikkonen, who retired at the start of the race, the only retirement from the Grand Prix here today. But in terms of the driver standings, we jump up to 7th place, which is great. Also, Mick Schumacher does go down to P11, but 9 points to his name already. You know, it's a massive improvement on last year, and hopefully it's a sign of things to come, and Mick can get more big results like this one here today, and also like the first one in Australia. Constructors wise though, we're now up to P4. We overtake AlphaTauri, which is absolutely insane. We are 6 points behind McLaren, but you know, the key thing here is that we overtook AlphaTauri, and for now we're P4 in the Constructors, which is insane, and hopefully Mick can keep on pushing on, because of course Australia was a bit of a weird race because of the safety cars. Mick got P5 or P6, but this race was legit. Like, me and him on strategy got the points today, which is absolutely brilliant. So a really strong race from us, and also worth noting Ferrari from a double DNF up to 2nd place and only 11 points behind Mercedes with that 1-2 finish here today. But guys, that is it from me and Bahrain. We're now going to move into the laptop and throw on some more upgrades.
Did you struggle to get through all that traffic today?
Not too much, to be fair. The engine was really good today, and you know, the setup was on point, but credit to the guys in the engine department. They really gave us a good car this weekend.
You really looked in control of your car out there. Your team must be thrilled.
I hope so. You know, we've done a lot of work this season, and you can see the improvements, you know, points in both races, and that's credit to them. They've really given both myself and Mick a car to compete with, so they're a great team to have behind, for sure.
Great. Well, that's everything.
Well, there we go then. After the race, as you can see on the rivalry breakdown, we are outscoring Lando Norris 4-2, which means we take a lead in 5-4 out of 30. So a good start for us after, you know, losing out in qualifying to Lando, and also in terms of acclaim, a big boost for both myself and Mick Schumacher, which means as a team we gain quite a hefty amount as a 42% combined acclaim bonus comes in, and also a great weekend from a financial standpoint because we gain all of our bonuses, which means $1.3 million extra, which is absolutely massive, and also no damage deductions and maximum, you know, payout this weekend, which means we are going to take our total all the way up to $3.63 million, which is absolutely insane. But we now move into the laptop, and as you can see on screen, we do have some upgrades arriving for the chassis. We've also got to renew our sponsor with Atlantic, so we are going to be renewing them. I'm quite happy with it. It's a very achievable goal. I believe it's 75 laps over a race weekend, so you know, that's very straightforward to achieve, and I'm more than happy to you know, proceed with them. It's a pretty good contract, also lengthwise, and it doesn't tie you down too long, so we can always change it if necessary. So we'll re-sign with them. We've also got some upgrades for the powertrain arriving soon, as you can see on the left hand side, and they're both going to arrive for the facility. As you can see, also confirmation of the chassis upgrade that arrived for the weight reduction, a minor upgrade. So that's going to be on the car from the next race in Vietnam, which is great news for us. And as you can see, we now go to the facility tab, and you'll see what I mean. We do have some big upgrades for the that department, let's say, because we've got one for quality control and also one for build speed, which means, you know, we can make upgrades quickly, and also they'll be much more reliable. But also we're going to assign some activities, so let's have a look to see what options we have. So for this first little 3-day period, I'm probably going to go for second driver PR filming to improve Mick once again, you know, get his acclaim up a little bit and also give us a bit of a small cash boost. And for the remaining 5 days after the invitational event, we are going to go for, I think, some weight training to improve Mick even more, and then the final one will be for the power department, because of course we are going to be focusing a lot of our development on the engine side of things moving forward. So there we go, activities assigned. You can see on the facilities we've got those 2 upgrades arriving soon, and once those arrive we can really push on in terms of engine upgrades because they'll be a lot cheaper and a lot more efficient. So let's simulate ahead and get those engine, you know, facility upgrades in the car, because once they're part of the team we can really push ahead. So there we go, the upgrades have arrived, so that's going to be perfect for us. So now is when we push on. So as you can see, we've got level 2 on everything except for resource point generation, so that'll hopefully be the next step. And with that, we're now going to throw on some upgrades for the engine, or in this case just the one, because we don't quite have enough R&D points, but you can see here this major upgrade for the cylinder head is going to mean we actually overtake Williams, Haas, and also AlphaTauri as well. We are going to develop it as standard because it's going to cost 1,100 points and only 19% chance of failure, which is really, really good. So that's why we waited for the upgrade to arrive, and that's going to leave us with 471 R&D points. So we'll invest those at the end of the next episode, hopefully in another engine upgrade, hopefully a major one for the ERS, and keep pushing that forward. But we're now going to simulate ahead to the invitational event because I'm going to do this now off stream. It's going to give us $150,000 and also 1,000 on the acclaim. So that's going to be really, really good for us, hopefully. So I'm now going to pretty much do that off stream, guys. And in the next episode, we'll pick up where we left off and we'll do the rest of the simulation in terms of the calendar days. So guys, that is going to be it from me here today for round 2 at Bahrain. And the next race will be Vietnam, which I'm looking forward to. But guys, if you enjoyed this video, drop me a like and subscribe if you are new for daily F1 2020 My Team content on the channel. And also on screen, you can see the full playlist on the right hand side if you have missed any of the episodes so far. But guys, that is it from me here today, and I'll see you all next time for round 3 in Vietnam. But until then, it's a goodbye from me, guys. Take care.